Hello, beautiful people. So it is me, Joanna, on my Mindful Counseling podcast. So today I figured I would have a short discussion on loneliness and how to deal with loneliness during COVID. And what I mean by that is those of us who live alone and are alone at home without any physical contact, and those of us who live with others and yet feel alone, lonely, and how to cope with some of these feelings. So obviously, as we know, when we are home, when we are in isolation and limited from doing things, our thoughts can go in many different directions. Fear, worry, curiosities, good and bad thoughts. And mind you, thoughts are normal. Good and bad is normal. It is the behaviors that need the adjusting, that we can differentiate between the good and the bad versus the thoughts. So loneliness, how do we deal with it, right? So the symptoms of loneliness and isolation show up in many different unhealthy coping responses, and some of them are difficulties with sleep, concentration, lack of energy, which then goes into depression. Food, eating too much or too little. I wouldn't be surprised if it's too much because our refrigerators are literally feet apart, away. Our addictive behaviors. So when we're isolated, alone, whether it's food, whether it is substances, alcohol, to social media, and whatever other addictive behaviors we might have. So we engage in a lot of these activities or don't engage because we are we feel lonely and alone. So how do we manage the feelings of loneliness when managing this pandemic? So obviously we all hope that it will fade away soon so that we can go back to some form of normalcy, whatever that will look like. And although many of us have hope and we hope things will go back to normal soon, many of us don't know when that is. So we still have to manage this isolation, maybe some comfort to it. I don't know, because we have become a lot more adjusted towards using video chats and games, and there's so many things going on through social medias now and webinars that we can attend, that we can look forward to. So that's another thing. How do we deal with loneliness? Is loneliness and being alone, right? Because there's almost like a difference between the two. So loneliness is I could feel lonely even though I'm with others, and alone is being alone, separated from others. So thank God for social media. Thank God for webinars. Thank God for our phones, which thankfully we can either dial a friend or video a friend, or have a friend dial us or call us or video us. And we can use Zoom. That's a big one nowadays. The Google Hangouts, FaceTime, Messengers. So there's a lot of different ways to socialize now. That is also if we want to. So when depression sets in, oftentimes we feel like we don't want to do anything. We don't want to roll out of bed. We don't want to take a shower. We don't want to do anything. We just kind of want to stay put. Now, I could say to you, it's okay to do that for a day, but to allow the brain to move forward once we address or at least acknowledge that maybe that one day was the depressive day. So being able to reach out to someone the good things nowadays too is that even if we don't feel like we can or want to reach out to any of the people that we know, the good thing is that there is many talk therapy places that we can reach out to, even if we want to speak to a therapist. And the good thing nowadays too is that there is even a chat therapy options, and all you could do is just Google it, and I'm sure Homicell information will pop up for you. So even if we don't have many individuals to speak to, but would like to, which I always encourage, because I think during this time it's always good to have someone to listen, it's always good to vent. So if you need someone to speak to, telehealth is huge. We can either call phone numbers, we can email, we can text. So there's definitely benefits in many different ways, and I encourage that as a therapist. So once again, going back into how do we manage isolation, loneliness, feeling alone, starting a conversation, doesn't matter who. If you have social media, I guess have fun with it in a healthy way. Share photos if you have to. Google Photos. There is many ways to find inspiration, to find something funny, something good, colorful, just by typing something into our telephone screens or computers. And something will always come up. Now, of course, as I mentioned, the virtual hangouts, thank God we have, and there's a lot more than even with what I'm saying. I'm familiar with the Zoom, Doxies, the Google Hangouts, FaceTime, Messengers. So log on to one, make a profile, login for one. Another thing too is, even if you have social media, which most of us do, is be careful how much time you spend in front of it. This would be the time to kind of check in with yourselves, because we are home, so it's so easy to fall into social media, to fall into television screens, and literally probably stay on it for hours on end, and then almost like snapping into reality and realizing that a whole day just passed. So check in with yourself, whether it is put a timer, how long you want to be on it. Get outside if you can. Take a walk, do some yard work, gardening. If you have neighbors, you don't have to physically be there, but hey, there is a social distance, physical distance there. Through the window, fence, we can have fun with it. Loneliness. Help someone. If you feel like you need something, find someone who may need something as well. And that is the part of physical connection, right? Now, I just recognize how that sounded in a sexual way, right? So whether that is something that you're searching, maybe that's a different topic of a discussion. But what I mean by saying what we need, search for someone who may need the same, is ability to communicate with someone. Find someone who may need you, whether it's, let's say, a neighbor, and it's an elderly neighbor. Find out if they need anything. Good deeds always make us feel better. Good deeds that we want to do, that we are in charge of, they can make us feel better. Another thing with the beauty of computers, telephones, is virtual fitness classes. Such a benefit, I think, especially today, because a lot of these places have opened up such a huge, I don't know what the word is, but ability for many to join. And I guess this is where the Zoom comes in and other platforms. My daughter, for example, I had her in a yoga class, and the class was only, in person. And because of what's going on now, the beauty is that I can do it on Zoom with her, and she can do it. So it's a class, she signs up for it, and she can do it on Zoom. And I love it. There's almost like a gratification in it. Webinars. There is so many free webinars out there that focus on different curiosities, interests. Google it. A website that I came across and I found so interesting was Mindful Valley, and I hope I'm saying this correctly, or Mind Valley. One second. And it's such a great website because you can sign up for pretty cool webinars. So one second. So it is called, and I apologize that I am almost putting all of you on hold here. I just want to make sure that I am looking at this correctly, so that way I don't give you the wrong information. How funny that I said Mindful Valley, and here I am, Mindful Counseling. Maybe it's Mind Valley. Well, regardless, I know I don't want to spend too much time, but there's almost different websites that you can join that can allow you, one, education, curiosity, the ability to learn something, and yet you could get it for free. Now, who does not like free? I think it's just our human nature to respond to it that will take it. And I think more so today. So I recommend it. Look into it. Mindvalley.com. Here I am providing you with the information. Check it out. They don't have a lot of classes. However, they do have free online master classes, and I think they're good. You might find them beneficial. Now, you might know of many other ones. I'm not sure which ones. I do come across them daily. So, and I just sign up for them. Like I said, some of them are free. Some of them you have to pay for, and take advantage of it. When you're home alone, you can take a class that you never thought about taking before. So, another thing, when you are alone, engage in self-care. Do something that makes you feel good. Take a warm bath, the one that you've been talking about but have not taken in a very long time. Listen to music. Do a crazy dance. Nothing wrong with it because nobody's watching you. So what's the big deal, right? Be silly. Pretend like you are a 5-7-year-old kid. My daughter was just dancing with what did she have? She had a beach ball playing. So she was playing soccer with a beach ball and making a funny dance. Why don't you as an adult pretend to do the same, and you will see how quickly you will laugh at it. So another part of being lonely and feeling alone during COVID is laugh at yourself. Doesn't matter if you're sad or disappointed or frustrated, just laugh at yourself. Just laughing can bring some comfort. Do it more than just once. So that's some of the things that I just wanted to bring up today, that focus on coping when it comes to feelings of loneliness and being alone during COVID. We are frustrated because we are alone, and we feel sad because we are alone, but we can do something about it. Ourselves, with others, reaching out, or have someone reach us. So I hope you found this helpful. Until next time, be well and be safe.